"Sir, my mom isn't waking up," the little girl whispered. The CEO froze and said, "Take me to her." The city awoke beneath a blanket of frost, its breath visible in the pale morning light. Rowan Hell, CEO of Hailstone Industries, a man whose name echoed in boardrooms and stock tickers, strode briskly toward his office, coat pulled tight, eyes fixed ahead. Success had carved lines into his face and silence into his soul. He hadn't slept well in years, not since his father passed, leaving him an empire built on steel and sacrifice and loneliness. Then, in the alley beside the old bakery, a sound stopped him cold. "Sir, my mom isn't waking up," the little girl whispered. The CEO froze and said, "Take me to her." The department was tucked above a laundromat, its windows fogged, its door squeaking on rusted hinges. Inside, the air was still and heavy. On a narrow bed lay a woman, pale, breath shallow, her hand still clutching a stack of papers, invoices, tax forms, some bearing the Hailstone Industries logo. It was Mira Whitley, an accountant Rowan remembered vaguely from payroll reviews. Quiet, efficient, never asked for overtime, never missed a deadline. Now she lay motionless, her body finally betraying years of sleepless nights and skipped meals. Exhaustion had collapsed her. Untreated anemia, the doctors would later say. But in that moment, all Rowan saw was a mother who'd given everything, and a daughter who was about to lose her world. He called an ambulance, held Arya's hand the whole way to the hospital, sat with her in the sterile waiting room, watching her draw shaky pictures of her mom getting better soon. And when a nurse finally emerged with news she's stable, Rowan felt something crack inside his chest. Over the next few days, he returned, not as a CEO, not as a man of power, but as someone who cared. He brought groceries, replaced the broken heater, fixed the leaky faucet Arya had been too scared to mention. He sat with Mira when she finally awoke, her voice hoarse, but her gratitude deeper than words. And he listened, really listened, as she spoke about working double shifts to keep Arya in school, about selling her jewelry to pay the electric bill, about never asking for help, because people like you don't see people like us. Those words haunted him. One afternoon, as Arya colored quietly in the hospital corner, Rowan pulled Mira aside. He said, "I want you to come work for me full-time. Better pay, health insurance, flexible hours. Your only job is to get strong and be Arya's mom." Mira burst into tears, not from sadness, but from relief, from the sudden staggering weight of being seen. Weeks passed. Rowan didn't stop visiting. He brought art supplies for Arya, canvases, paints, even a tiny easel. He said, "She's got your eyes," he told Mira once, watching Arya paint a sunrise, "and your strength." But something else was shifting, inside him. The boardroom felt colder now, the meetings emptier. He started noticing the janitor who worked late, the intern who skipped lunch to finish a report, the single parent in accounting who walked 2 miles to save bus fare. And for the first time in years, Rowan didn't just see employees, he saw people. One evening, as he helped Arya hang her latest painting, a golden sun over a house with 3 stick figures holding hands, she looked up at him and said, "You're like a dad in my dreams." Rowan's throat tightened. He didn't say anything, but that night he went home and dug out an old photo of his father, smiling, arm around young Rowan at a park.
He'd buried that memory under spreadsheets and shareholder reports. Now it rose again, warm and aching. He wasn't just helping them, they were healing him. The story of Rowan Hale, the CEO who followed a whisper into a broken home and found his humanity, didn't make headlines. But in that little apartment, in the laughter of a girl who finally felt safe, and in the quiet dignity of a mother given a second chance, it echoed, louder than any press release ever could. Because sometimes the most powerful transformations begin not with a grand gesture, but with a child's trembling plea. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Story Tales for more emotional, cinematic tales of kindness, courage, and second chances. Tell us in the comments, have you ever been saved by a stranger's kindness? Don't forget to share where you're watching from. Stay with us. The world needs more stories like this, and maybe more people like Rowan. Thanks for watching.